good afternoon, and welcome to Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, as Premier Boxing Champions presents our final press conference. This Saturday night, we are in store for an absolute stacked night of boxing, as Big Time Boxing is back at Barclays Center March 1st. Here in Brooklyn, a loaded PBC pay-per-view event on Prime Video featuring 4 world title fights. And it is all culminating into a grudge match showdown between boxing superstar Gervonta Tank Davis and reigning world champion Lamont Roach. We're going to hear from Tank and Roach in a few moments after this portion of our press conference. But first, let's run down the jam-packed card we have for you at Barclays Center. In our co-main event, WBA Super Lightweight World Champion Jose Rayo Valenzuela will take on the hard-hitting top contender Gary Antuanne Russell in our co-main event. Then we have our WBC Super Lightweight World Champion Alberto Puello as he takes on top-rated mandatory challenger from Spain, Sandor Martin. And then kicking off our pay-per-view is rising unbeaten star Yoenis Tellez as he looks to defend and fight former unified world champion Julian Williams for the interim WBA Super Welterweight World title. And it all starts on pay-per-view 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Now, preceding the pay-per-view, we will have our Prime Video prelims, and that will be starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, and it will be available free access to all fans regardless of Prime membership or purchase of the pay-per-view card. The streaming presentation will feature the former unified 154-pound world champion Swift Jared Hurd as he takes on hard-hitting Johan Gonzalez in a 10-round middleweight affair. Tickets are still available at Ticketmaster.com. You don't want to miss it. You do want to be in this building here on Saturday night, March 1st. The event is promoted by GTD Promotions and TGB Promotions, and it is, of course, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Now, before we get to our fighters, I want to introduce the man that helped put this amazing card together, the president of TGB Promotions, Mr. Tom Brown.
Thank you, Miguel. I'll make this real quick. We've got a lot of fighters to get to today. I just want to say how excited we are about this card we put together. The undercard, the pay-per-view portions, all world title fights. We open the pay-per-view portion of the show with a WBA interim championship fight with a young 24-year-old rising Cuban star daring to be great, taking on a former unified world champion and Julian Williams. A fighter that knows with a win in this fight pushes him right back to the head of the 54-pound division. Then we roll right into the first of the 2 140-pound world championship fights with Alberto Puello defending his WBC world title. His first defense against the #1 mandatory WBC contender, Sandor Martin. He's a road warrior. He's upset-minded, and he'd like to bring that title back to Spain. So I think we're going to get a real good fight there. And then we go into the co-feature. This is one that I'm really looking forward to. I've been hearing a lot about this whole week. We have 2 young fighters, both in their prime. Rayo at 25 and Gary Antuanne Russell at 28. Rayo will be defending his WBA title for the first time since winning it back in August, where he beat Mexican fan favorite Isaac Pitbull Cruz in a great fight. And he'll be taking on, like I said, Gary Antuanne Russell, a former U.S. Olympian. He gained a lot of fight experience in his last fight against Puello, and he's here trying to bring that title back and add it to the collection of the Fighting Russell family. So we have a great fight, and looking forward to seeing him out there on Saturday night. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tom. And now it's time to get to our fighters. First fighter will be featured on the prelims against Swift Jared Hurd. He's coming in with a record 34 victories, 33 by knockout, and 4 defeats. He is a native of Venezuela. Please help me welcome Johan Gonzalez. Go ahead.
Muy buenos días, gracias otra vez aquí a la empresa PBC por la oportunidad y bueno, preparado para mi pelea el primero y demostrar de que uno puede volver a ganar.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank PBC for this opportunity. And this Saturday night, I'm going to prove to you all that I'm back and that I can win once again. Thank you.
All right, now let's bring on his opponent, who you are no stranger to. This man comes in with 25 victories, 17 by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats and 1 draw. He's the former unified super welterweight world champion, and you all know him to be in numerous action fights, including unifying the titles in a 2018 Fight of the Year against Erislandy Lara. He most recently fought the former unified champion Jason Rosario to a draw last August. Please help me welcome Swift Jared Hurd.
What up, what up? I just want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. I'm happy to be here. I've been at the Barclays Center for numerous amount of times. And to be honest with you, with so many fighters here for the DMV, we got Antuanne Russell, we got Lamar Roach and Javante Davis, and you know I'm bringing out the crowd tonight as well down here to New York. Saturday night. And I'm just ready to put on the show, man. You know, this is Swift Jared Hurd, who is at 100%. You know, us fighters, we don't always go on to fight 100%. And but this time I'm gonna be 100%. And like I said before, to a numerous amount of reporters, Joan Gonzalez is a great fighter. I respect him. But if I can't get past this one, baby, it's over for me. So I'm going out here, and I'm guaranteed to make a statement. I'm gonna show you why I was once unified champion. I'm back on top. Let's get it.
All right, and once again, that fight will be featured on our PBC Prime Video prelim, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, and we'll hear from both fighters at our Q&A portion of the press conference. But now let's turn our attention and bring up fighters that will be a part of the Stack pay-per-view event this Saturday, March 1st from Barclays Center. First up to the podium with a record of 29 victories, 17 by knockout, opposite of 4 defeats and 1 draw. He proudly represents Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He is the former unified 154-pound world champion. He dropped a competitive challenge to WBC middleweight world champion Carlos Adames in 2023, but he returned to most recently stop Gustavo David Vittori in 2 rounds in January of 2024. Please help me welcome Julian J-Rock Williams.
How's everybody doing? Good afternoon. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank Louis DeCubis. And I want to thank my team, Steve and Fred, my man Tone, for just supporting me throughout this camp. I had a really good camp. I'm up against a good competitor in this guy right here, but I'm looking to come out on top. I'm extremely thankful to the WBA for giving me the opportunity to realize my dream of becoming a 2-time world champion. And I'm locked in, man. I don't really got too much to say. He's a good young fighter, but Saturday night is going to. I'm gonna be the person I've always been. I've been a dog my whole career. I'm gonna be a dog on Saturday night. See y'all later.
All right, thank you, J-Rock. Now let's bring up his opponent. He is a young, hungry contender looking to be a world champion. Comes in with an undefeated record, 9 victories, 7 by knockout. From Santiago de Cuba, Cuba, now training in Stafford, Texas with the acclaimed trainer, Ronnie Shields. He most recently dominated veteran contender Johan Gonzalez and stopped him in round 7 on Prime Video in October last year. Please help me welcome Yoenis Tellez.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Yoenis Tellez, un cubano con tremendas ganas de echar para adelante. Primero que todo, gracias por la oportunidad al equipo, a mi equipo de trabajo, gracias a Luisito Junior, gracias a mi familia, gracias a mi equipo de trabajo de entrenadores, gracias al equipo de Roach por aceptar la pelea y bien contento con lo que está pasando conmigo en mi carrera con tan poco carrera profesional. bien contento y el sábado 1 de marzo voy a dar, esperen lo mejor que voy a darlo todo ahí arriba del ring.
All right. Thank you. Martin Batar will be doing translations throughout this press conference. Moving on to our next bout on the pay-per-view card. This man comes in with the record 42 victories, 15 by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats. He is a native of Barcelona, Spain. He sprung the 2021 upset of the year when he defeated 4-division world champion Mikey Garcia and then dropped a controversial decision against 2-division champion Teofimo Lopez. He most recently scored back-to-back knockout victories and looking to bring a world title back to his country of Spain. Please help me welcome Sandor Martin.
Hello, New York. Thanks to everyone to stay here. It's a pleasure to return to this city. The lights, the city looks amazing. New York returns me here to become world champ this time. That's unbelievable. Stay with these great fighters. I have a great opponent too for the March 1st, and I do my best to become world champ. That's my dream. When I was a kid, I dreamed it, and now I'm only need to accomplish my mission. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Sandor. And now let's move on to our next world title fight. As Sandor Martin's taking on an undefeated 23-0, 10 knockouts, a reigning WBC super lightweight world champion from the Dominican Republic, now training in Las Vegas. He is a 2-time 140-pound world champion, winning this title with a decision victory over Gary Antuanne Russell last June. Please help me welcome Alberto La Avispa Puello.
Bueno, primero que nada, muy buena tarde para todos. Gracias a Dios porque estemos todos en este lugar. Decirle que estamos preparados para defender mi título. Mi equipo y yo dimos el 100% en el campo de entrenamiento y estamos listos para seguir representando mi bandera de República Dominicana y llevándole la buena pelea a todo el público. Gracias.
Well, first of all, good afternoon, everybody. I want to let you know that both me and my team we're ready to give 100% out there. Our training camp has been amazing. My job this Saturday night is going to be to raise the Dominican flag up high and represent my country with pride. That's what I plan to do. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alberto, and we'll get to them momentarily. And now let's go to our co-main event this Saturday, March 1st. First up will be the challenger coming in with the record 17 victories with all 17 wins by knockout and just 1 defeat. Fighting out of his native Capitol Heights, Maryland, as he represents one of boxing's prominent boxing families. He is a 2016 U.S. Olympian, and he started off his career with a bang, knocking out his first 17 opponents of his professional career before coming up short on a very competitive decision against Alberto Puello last June. Please help me welcome Gary Antuanne Russell.
How y'all doing? There's a lot of things I can say, but I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. One major thing that he left out is I'm a supporter and representative of DC for sure. Don't ever get that twisted. It's a lot of people I can shout out. But first and foremost, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here today, put me in the position that I'm in. Thank PBC, everybody that's a part of the committee that's allowing this to happen. You know, I'm coming in here with a chip on my shoulder, came off of an L, take it as a lesson, not a loss. Camp, I want to thank my family for supporting me in camp. All of my extended loved ones, I shout out to y'all for keeping me uplifted when I needed to be. And March 1st, right around the corner. We're ready to get these fireworks popping. May the best man win.
And now we'll go to his opponent, who will be defending his world title. He's 14-2 with 9 wins by knockout. He is the reigning WBA super lightweight world champion from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, now training with famed trainer Robert Garcia. He won his world title last year, upsetting Mexican star Isaac Pitbull Cruz on his way to a decision victory. This guy is never in a boring fight, and it will be fireworks in Barclays Center in our co-main event. Please help me welcome Jose Rayo Valenzuela.
Very happy to be back. First, I'd like to thank God, my team, Al Heyman, Tom Brown, Luis Cuba, my lawyer Nick Perez. This Saturday is gonna be, action-packed fight. We know Gary's coming to fight. I'm coming to fight. We both are in our prime. This fight kind of sells itself. His record, he kind of speaks for itself. He's a dangerous fighter. I believe I'm a dangerous fighter. I put the work in and did everything I had to do to come out victorious Saturday night. I want to thank everybody, the press, y para toda la gente mexicana, todos mis latinos. Este sábado no se quieren perder esta pelea. Esta pelea va a estar muy buena. Mi oponente viene a pelear, un noqueador muy fuerte, y yo hice todo para estar listo, y arriba México. Gracias.
All right, thank you, Rayo. And now it's time to start things off with our Q&A portion of the press conference. And now we'll go back over to a fight that's going to be featured on the PBC prelims with Swift Jared Hurd and Johan Gonzalez. And once again, that will be 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, free on Prime Video. Now, we'll start things off with the former unified champion, Swift Jared Hurd. You are someone that has been in so many major fights throughout your career. You just said that if you can't get through this, you're hanging them up. What is left for you to prove in your career?
Well, first of all, Miguel, before I ask you a question, man, I want to, always get up here and I don't put shine on my head coach, Andre Rodman, who been with me since the amateur days, man. This is the guy who's been by my side through all 30 of my fights and damn near all my amateur fights. So I just want to give him a big shout out, man, and say thank you for everything that he's done for me. And but to answer your question, man, I swear, like I said, I'm not the type of guy to make excuses. I just know who I am as a fighter, man. And I've been in a few fights, that set my career back. But I just know I'm levels above a fighter like Johan Gonzalez, and I know if I can't go out there and show that for this fight, who says I can? I've been on that level before. I know what it takes to compete on the top level, and if I can't go out there and get past someone like him, I'm not naive to the fact that I know what time it is for me.
All right, thank you, Jared. And now let's go to your opponent, Johan Gonzalez. You're coming off a defeat against a man that's also on this stage, Yoenis Tellez, last October. You now step into the ring against a big name in Jared Hurd, a former champion. What do you need to do to come out on top Saturday?
Bueno, Johan, venís de perder contra alguien que tenemos aquí en el escenario como Yoenis Tellez. Ahora te estás enfrentando a un ex campeón unificado como Jared Hurd. Es otro gran desafío. ¿Qué necesitas hacer este sábado para ganar y establecerte en esta división?
Bueno, es una gran oportunidad y sí, vengo de una derrota y ya hemos hecho muchos cambios y esperemos demostrarlo porque tengo una gran oportunidad y la quiero aprovechar al máximo y lo verán el sábado, pues.
Yeah, I do come off a loss, but I do also have a great opportunity in front of me right now. We made a lot of adjustments, a lot of changes during training camp. You're going to get to see that on Saturday night. It's going to be a different Johan Gonzalez that you're going to see.
Now going back to you, Jared, looking at Gonzalez, he's an action fighter, loves to come forward, and we have seen you obviously in so many great fights. The fight you had against Arizlan Lara is still talked about to this day. What can fans expect from this matchup stylistically?
Domination, man. I plan on going out here and dominating. If that's toe-to-toe fireworks, if that's moving around using my jab, it don't matter. I don't want to leave it in the judges' hands, of course. But I just feel like I want a clear win. I don't want to have no iffy win if they're questioning whether or not it was a good. I want to have a great performance and go ahead and have a dominant win.
All right, back to you, Johan. Prediction Saturday night against the champ. You're the underdog. What happens?
Bueno, Johan, el vaticinio, la predicción para este sábado por la noche, no sos el favorito para ganar, según la gente, pero ¿qué crees que va a pasar este sábado? ¿Cómo termina la pelea?
Bueno, venimos preparados y obvio, yo vengo con mi mente positiva y para la victoria para Venezuela y para mi pueblo de Huihue.
Well, you know what? Positive mindset, going out there to get the win, and I want to make both Venezuela and my hometown of Huihue very, very happy on Saturday night. That's the goal.
All right, and same question to you, Jared. You said total domination. Can fans not only expect a win from you, but a knockout win?
Yeah, if it comes, I'm definitely going for it. In the last fight with Rosario, I think I left a little bit too much in that last round with the judges. So, I'm not leaving that to the judges this time. I'm trying to get that win by knockout if it comes.
All right, there you heard it. That will be featured on our PBC Prelim, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, this Saturday from Barclays Center. Now let's go to our fighters that are going to be featured on the Stacked PBC pay-per-view event on Prime Video. Now opening things up will be Yoenis Tellez and Julian J-Rock Williams. Now I'll go to you and start things off with you, Yoenis. You know, you have been on a big stage before. You defeated Sergio Garcia in Vegas on a big-time card, and this will be your first professional fight in New York, in Brooklyn, from Barclays Center. What are you most looking forward to fighting here in Brooklyn?
Bueno, Yoenis, no sos ningún extraño a las luces brillantes. Venís de pelear contra Sergio García en Las Vegas. Ahora debutás en Nueva York. ¿Qué te genera estar acá en la Gran Manzana en una pelea de esta magnitud?
Nada, primero que todo creo que era por lo que tanto yo he trabajado, era de esperarse, ya que yo vine aquí a este país solamente con un solo objetivo, de poder verme en grandes escenarios y que mi pueblo de Cuba se siente identificado conmigo, con mi sacrificio.
This is the combination of really a hard work ethic and a dream come true, really. I came to this country with only one objective in mind, to make Cuba proud. And I feel like I'm doing that right here in New York City.
Now over to you, J-Rock. Tellez is a young, undefeated, hungry fighter, but you have been through so many battles. You've been a world champion. Do you think your experience will be the X factor going into this fight Saturday night?
No, I think my skill set is going to be the X factor. I don't rely on experience. We all, as fighters, got our own experiences. I rely on mindset and skills and the work that I put inside the gym.
Over to you, Tellez. You are fighting a former world champion. Do you believe this is going to be your most difficult test to date, fighting a guy like J-Rock Williams? And if you're able to get through him, what would that say to the rest of the division?
¿Sentís que un ex campeón mundial como Julian Williams es tu examen más arduo en tu carrera hasta el momento? Y si ganás, ¿qué tipo de mensaje le estarías mandando a la división?
Sí, totalmente. Yo creo que ahora mismo en mi carrera, en mi corta carrera, va a ser el oponente con más experiencia, el oponente con más recursos a nivel de pelea profesionales. Pero yo soy un peleador que viene con mucha hambre, un peleador que viene cuando sube el ring, sube a comerse sus presas y yo creo que el sábado lo voy a demostrar el 1 de marzo ahí. Y enviarle un mensaje a la división de que hay un cubano con grandes aspiraciones a quedarse con los títulos mundiales.
It's totally, absolutely my biggest challenge today in my short pro career so far. Julian Williams is a skilled fighter that has a lot of experience, no doubt about that. But when I come into the ring on Saturday night, I'm like someone that is hunting to eat his prey. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. And as far as what the message will be for the division, is that a Cuban fighter is here to stay and is coming for all the titles.
Over to you, J-Rock. He said recently he's looking to finish you before the final bell. How do you take that comment? And what's he going to find out once he actually steps into the ring about you Saturday?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really care about what he think or what he say. When that bell ring, we gonna see.
And now, Tellez, J-Rock, obviously a very difficult opponent. You've had a quick ascent in your career. 9 fights and already a world title opportunity. What has that said about you and your team and how you've been able to rise through the ranks this quickly?
Contanos tus sensaciones sobre el ascenso meteórico que has tenido en la división, apenas un puñado de peleas, menos de 10. ¿Qué dice eso de vos como boxeador, de tu equipo y de lo que son también tu presente y tu futuro en el boxeo?
Mi equipo como tal confía mucho en mí, me da mucha confianza, me trabaja mucho conmigo. Yo creo que pelear el sábado contra un peleador como Roach para mí no creo que sea algo difícil, porque no lo creo, no lo menosprecio, pero no me lo creo en mi mente. Entonces yo voy a salir a hacer mi trabajo el sábado, nada más que eso.
My team and I, we have full trust in each other, and to be honest with you, if I fight Julian Williams on Saturday night the way I think I can fight, then it's not going to be the hardest challenge that I'm going to face. And it's not that I'm underestimating him or overlooking him, no way. It's just that in my mind, it's not that way. And I'm going to put my best foot forward out there on Saturday night, and that's just the way it's going to be.
All right, that's going to be opening up our pay-per-view portion. Yoenis Tellez, Julian J. Rock Williams for the interim WBA Super Welterweight World Title. Now we move on to our next bout. Alberto Puello defending his WBC 140-pound world title against Sandor Martin. And we'll start things off with you, Puello. You became the WBC champ, defeating the guy to my left, Gary Antuanne Russell, last year, and you're defending the world title for the first time. What are you looking to prove to Sandor Martin and the rest of the division now that you are a world champion again?
Bueno, campeón, tu primera defensa del título. ¿Qué es lo que tenés pensado mandar como mensaje al mundo defendiendo tu título contra Sandor Martin el sábado por la noche?
Bueno, en esta primera defensa, el mensaje que le quiero mandar a todos es que yo soy un 140 de los número 1 y voy a seguir dando de qué hablar, ya que defienda mi título, Dios mediante. Y mi próximo paso será retar a cualquiera de los campeones que haya en la división.
The message? Simple. I'm among the number 1 fighters in the 140-pound division. And what I want to do is defeat Sandor Martin and then go after each and every champion that there is in the division. Bring them on. Anybody, I'm willing and able to face them.
Now, over to you, Sandor, and I don't need to tell you twice, this is an incredible opportunity for you in front of you to become a world champion. Nobody has been able to figure out Puello. He's undefeated. 23 fighters have tried and all have failed. Why do you believe you're the man to deliver his first defeat?
Puello es un boxeador invicto. Varios han intentado derrotarlo y no han podido hacerlo. ¿Qué te hace pensar a vos que vas a poder lograr lo que otros no pudieron y vas a terminar con el brazo en alza después de esta pelea?
Finally, Day is a great fighter, but I need to be confident in my case and my skills, and I need to be different in the ring than the other opponents and put all my heart and my EQ inside this ring to gonna be world champ.
Now back over to you, Puello. As we've seen throughout Sandor's career, he's relished these opportunities being the underdog, upset Mikey Garcia, came close to upsetting Teofimo Lopez. Some think he did. How do you prevent that from happening Saturday night when he steps into the ring with you?
Bueno, acá sabemos que Sandor se relame en salir de punto, de no ser el favorito. Dio el batacazo contra Mikey Garcia, le dio un buen susto a Teofimo López y ahora vuelve con ganas de seguir dando de qué hablar. ¿Cómo haces para que no sea grande y que no suceda lo que pasó en las últimas 2 peleas que tuvo?
Bueno, eso que Sandor Martin ha demostrado a mí no me sorprende, ya que peleó con Mikey Garcia, que no estaba en su mejor momento, y un Teofimo López que en las 140 libras no es nadie, así que nada de eso me preocupa. Yo siempre soy un boxeador seguro de mí y mi preparación ha hablado por sí sola.
I'm not worried at all, and in fact I'm not surprised by what Sandor did, because Mikey Garcia wasn't really in his best moment when he fought Sandor, and then Teofimo Lopez is really nobody in the division. So right now I'm confident in myself, and that's all I need to do. As long as I believe in what I do, then I'm going to be ready on Saturday night.
Now over to you, Sandor. The last time you fought in New York was a controversial split decision loss that you had against Teofimo Lopez. How do you make sure that does not happen again against Puello back here in New York?
¿Cómo haces para evitar?
The last time I only have 3 weeks to prepare the fight. That's so different. I have for more than 6 months, and I'm arriving in my prime of my career. That's my desire when I was a kid, and I'm come to accomplish it my dream true.
And now over to you, Puello. Prediction on Saturday, 140-pound WBC world champion. How does it all play out?
Danos tu vaticinio, tu predicción, Alberto. ¿Cómo termina la pelea contra Sandor el sábado por la noche?
Bueno, me preparé muy bien y la pelea puede terminar en cualquier momento. Estoy listo para acabar la pelea y para llevar la decisión en ganando la pelea, que así va a ser. Estoy listo para todo.
I'm ready for everything. It's going to be a great fight on Saturday night. I prepared so well. And, you're going to have to turn in because the fight can end at any time. I'm looking to do so, and you're not going to want to miss it.
And now over to you, Sandor. Same thing, prediction. Are you a world champion come Saturday night?
Sí, se lo digo en español para que lo entienda. Creo que tenemos ideas muy diferentes de lo que va a ser la pelea y el resultado. Espero que dé una gran versión porque yo la voy a dar. And now in English, they have a very different idea about the result of the fight. I wish the best for them, and I hope they stay in a good form because I'm in the best form of my life.
All right, thank you, Sandor. Once again, that will be for the WBC 140-pound world champion, our second fight on the stacked pay-per-view card. And now we will turn things over to our co-main event. These guys are looking to steal the show this Saturday, March 1st, here at Barclays Center. And first, I'll start with you, Rayo. You are making your first defense of your world title. You have worked your entire career to become a world champion, and now that you have that title, does that change anything in regards to your mentality now that guys want what you have?
Definitely, it's brought me more motivation, more discipline. I think I've matured a lot, getting this belt, and I've gone back and worked harder than ever to show that, I'm here to stay.
Now over to you, Gary. Rayo has said that you're a good fighter, but you don't really have anything that he hasn't seen before. And he believes he's more crafty and brings way more to the ring than you do. How do you respond to that?
He said exactly. He said he don't see nothing special. I want him to keep that same energy. That's it. Come fight night, keep that same energy.
Now, Rayo, he said he wants you to keep that same energy. He said that he's heard that you said he's nothing special, and he wants you to keep that same energy Saturday night. How do you take that from him?
He's a great fighter, He fights at, his rhythm, and he's real good at what he does. But, regardless of that, what I come to do. I come to fight. I'm explosive. I got speed. I prepared correctly for this fight, and I'll be ready Saturday night.
Back to you, Rayo. You've shown in your career that you can fight a number of ways. We've seen you in all-out wars, and then we saw you win the title being extremely technical and outworking your opponent and just having a high IQ and being very smart. What is this fight going to require from you Saturday against Russell?
Yeah, I believe I got a lot of different styles in me. I can fight in the inside, I can fight in the outside, I can fight in the mid-range. But I think this fight specifically, I would like to do a little bit of both. Mix it up. Fight in the inside, mid-range, long, move forward. He comes forward, so, why not give the fans an action-packed fight, and steal the night.
Over to you, Gary. With some of the comments in the interviews, and I know you've, getting this opportunity, do you feel any sense of added motivation going into this fight now? Because it seemed like you guys started off, very respectful, and it still stayed somewhat that, but it seems there's a little bit more added motivation on your end, especially going into Saturday.
It's a championship fight. That's motivation enough. That should be something for the both of us to make sure we on our A game when we come into that square. But I'm coming off of a loss. So yeah, I got a chip on my shoulder. That's another inch towards me wanting to be in the ring.
Go.